Hello and welcome to this reading. I hope you're all well. Thank you for joining me here today. I've got a few intuitive messages coming through already, so we'll make a start on those in just a second and then we'll get to the cards. So I'm really picking up on, especially because sitting here in my car recording this, there's a lot of wind blowing around, the trees are blowing around. It's quite rough outside. Thankfully, it stopped raining, but there is this energy of like tumultuous energy, movement, change, maybe things shifting and changing quite quickly, maybe ideas that you're having. Maybe you feel like you want to do one thing and then you think you want to do something else, and then you think, oh, maybe I could do this. There just seem to be a lot of opportunities around. There seem to be offers on the table. That's what I'm picking up on. That's what just came through. Some kind of offers on the table, and you might find that all of those offers or most of those offers are actually pretty decent. You might find that you could find it difficult to choose between different things because all of them have something of value to offer. So many things going on. It's almost like there's this kind of chaotic energy with the winds of change, and this seems to be like outer things that could be disrupting our lives. It could be noise. It could be the busyness of what's going on at the moment. With as I'm recording this, this is actually kind of Christmas time and moving towards Christmas, the holidays, and then New Year. And this is a timeless reading, but this is the energy that's around as I'm recording this. And I'm also seeing, like, if you could imagine some of these cards laid out on a table, like the opportunities I was talking about, uh, there's time to survey these opportunities, these offers. There's no need to rush into anything, is what I'm feeling. You could feel that in the past you might have rushed into one of these things because maybe you were coming from a place of lack or fear, feeling chaotic, and worrying that the offers might be taken off the table. But I'm feeling like these offers are there and they're not actually going anywhere quickly, and there is time to survey the land, let's say, for you to check in with how you really feel about each thing. Like I said, I feel like all of these offers offer some value. All of these opportunities have some level of value to them. But it's just deciding what fits and suits you at this time. And I just heard as well that it won't be forever. So some of these things that you may feel to move into, these opportunities, these offers, it doesn't mean that you're trapped in any of these things. That's what I'm feeling. You can change your mind. You're not stuck once you make a decision. So yeah, there's something about an easy come, easy go kind of energy. And so you can choose one thing and maybe it doesn't work, so you can change your mind and choose something else. I really like that because it takes a lot of pressure off. And it's funny, as I'm seeing the table with the cards laid out, these opportunities, it's almost like wind whipping around outside, like I'm experiencing here. But this table is very firm and very solid. Think about the four legs of the table, and the cards are like protected somehow from this wind that's whipping around, metaphorically. So I'm hearing, like, take your time. It's okay to take your time when you're making these decisions. So let's see what wants to come through with the cards. Three of Pentacles. So this could be related to some kind of work, could be related to like job offers or business offers, could be related to also maybe locations as well, with this being like a very physical suit of Pentacles. You could have offers on the table that could also be very lucrative. I'm just seeing, he's working away here. He's quite busy creating these things of beauty, of value, and this is what you're bringing to the world. That's what I'm picking up on, and it's just you're being recognized is what I just heard as well. Your talent is being recognized, your skills, your gifts, your natural propensity to maybe heal or create things or take care of people. There's something that's really being noticed by other people. And I just heard you can step out there and be seen. Maybe there have been times in the past where you felt that you couldn't do that, that you couldn't step outside and be seen. Maybe if you work in like a spiritual capacity, I don't know, like the work that I do, for example, maybe you've been like reticent or you've been worried about stepping out and being seen as the person that you are, doing the things that you do and offering what you offer. This is telling me that you've worked really hard to get to where you are. This man won't have been able to make these talks overnight, like he won't have just learnt this like that. There's a high level of quality and value that he's presenting here. And I just feel like with him being an older man with like greyish hair, I just get this feeling that he's been doing it for a long time. And now he's reached a point, it feels like mastery. He's able to create things um, that look similar each time. They might not be exactly the same, but he can perform to a certain level of quality every time. So this comes with practice. So there's something you've been practicing over the years that's now reached a certain level, and you're able to. I just said you could do this with your eyes closed, whatever this is. You've actually mastered something. And if this isn't something creative or like physical that you make or any kind of business or work thing, it could be your self mastery. It could be, I just saw the King of Pentacles then in my mind's eye. So there's this sense of like the self made man or self made woman being able to lead and take care of themselves and take care of others as well. And there's just, I feel like there's a lot of wealth coming forwards and like all of these resources, that's the word I was looking for, all of these resources that are coming to the fore. It could be people like offering you help with finances, or it could be people offering you help with things like, I don't know, gifting you things that could help your business, or gifting you things like furniture for your home. There's something very physical about this where yeah, there's a beautification as well, is what I'm hearing, because these are beautiful objects. A beautification of your life. So, if it is a physical thing that you're doing, it could be that, for example, you're renovating or you're decorating or both. Maybe you're upcycling things, you know, like buying an old piece of furniture and upcycling it. But it feels almost as though that's a metaphor for your life. You're like upcycling your life, renovating your life, making it different, uh, having a different way of being in the world and showing up in the world. You might be changing the way that you look. You might change your hair. You might change your. Oh, there's a big logging truck just went past. You might change the clothes that you wear. Yeah, it's interesting. There's a lot of change going on, and I really do feel like, you know, we're in a position where we can take our time with this change. It doesn't have to be rushed. It can actually be enjoyed. So here's the Blasted Beach, the Tower card, and this is what I feel is going on in the ethers, like it's going on around us. Everything that's happening in the world. There could be people around us who are like losing their minds over the holiday season, or getting very stressed, or that have like an anxious, nervous quality about them, or very jittery. We could have people like that around us. Maybe we even feel that now and again. But I feel quite a calm energy from the group here, our collective that I'm reading for. I feel that you've reached a space where you can be largely, I would say, unaffected by this whirlwind and this chaotic craziness that's taking place. Of course, some days we can be more tired than others, and maybe it affects us more then. But there is actually a high level of self care needed. I just heard, but I feel like all of you that are watching this video, maybe you haven't mastered self care. It's a tricky one, I know, but you're probably in a position where you've actually realized what you need, and you're more capable of meeting those needs. So it could be need for routine, could be need for certain foods, it could be need for earlier nights, or anything really that helps you to get through the day and move through life, and to also make space for creativity and um, connection with spirit, is what I just heard as well. So yes, the world is chaotic, and as I said, as I'm recording this, it is Christmas time. It is the holiday season, the festive season, and so people do lose their heads. I've been into town a few times recently, and people are very, very busy and hectic, and I've chosen not to buy into that. this year, well, for the past few years, really, but more so this year, been able to kind of avoid it in a sense. Maybe a lot of you are doing that as well, and maybe focusing on the real things to celebrate in life, like connection, maybe family, maybe friends, uh, taking care of yourself, taking care of the planet, maybe consuming less, creating more, that kind of thing. Yeah, actually, let's go with the Wildwood Tarot for some more cards. So with all of this going on around, with all of this hectic energy, you're actually still capable of making a very clear decision. That's what I'm feeling. So we've got number 5, the Ancestor. So this would be the Hierophant. And yeah, I just heard the stillness of the woods, which I really like. And there are these birch trees as well, which are really beautiful. It's like this gateway that this ancestor figure is moving through. And this feels like moving into a new phase of life. And I like that it's very wintry in the background as well, because as I'm recording this, we're steadily moving towards winter. I just saw 11:11 on the timer as well. So if you think about this as an 11, there's a gateway, and an 11:11 could be a double gateway. So you might have two opportunities that present themselves. It could be like a job opportunity and a relationship opportunity, a business opportunity and a new living space opportunity. Feels like things are coming in tandem. That's what I'm hearing. And it's all because of the work that you've done inwardly. You've done this work yourself. You have done the hard graft, is what I just heard, like hard work. You've done the inner work, you've sat with yourself, you've been with your emotions, you've allowed them to flow, you've observed and responded instead of reacting more so than usual. And so you're creating a different life for yourself in that sense. And the ancestors are proud of you for that. And they're happy that you are doing these things, and they're happy that you are perhaps living a life that they were unable to live because of their circumstances. They're very happy with the way that you, I just heard, conduct yourself. So that's interesting. Yeah. So I feel like ancestor connection could be very helpful at this time, asking them to come forwards and maybe even to help you to make these decisions with the cards that are laid on the table. You could ask them to sit with you in meditation, maybe visualize the opportunities that you have on the table and see which one draws you to it. And yeah, ask the ancestors what they think. You know, what would they like you to experience is what I'm hearing. And ancestors, you know, they have our best interests at heart. They want us to succeed. They want us to move forwards and advance. And I just heard conquer as well. So it's like they really want us to move forwards in a different way, is also what I just heard. So you might be looking at doing something very differently at the moment. Maybe it's like similar things that you've always done. Or, for example, if you're running a business, you might choose to run that business differently, but it's still the same business. Or you've always worked in a certain type of job with a certain skill set, and you'll still be using those skills, but you decide to go for a different job. Something like that. Or like you move to a different house, but in the same area. There's something familiar about this change, but also very unfamiliar at the same time. So it could potentially be like a little bit confusing. But I am seeing that the table, the cards, and you are calm. It's just about tuning out, is what I'm hearing, tuning out the noise around you. And it's interesting I'm saying that because I actually invested in a mic. So hopefully the sound's better in this video than it has been in others. And this is about noise cancellation as well. It's about tuning out the distractions, the distracting noises, the hissing and the, you know, like maybe all of the wind outside and everything. Tune that out and bring your attention really inwards, 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 in to the center of yourself, and then look at this table metaphorically and see what stands out to you. Is there an option that feels exciting? That's always a good way to go moving forwards. An option that really feels like heart excitement, butterflies, and potentials, ideas. So, say for example, if you were going to move into a new house and you go to view a house, and then you go and look at it and you can see its potential. You're like, oh, the sofa could go over there and the TV could go up there. And um, I don't know why I'm saying TV because I probably wouldn't have one if I have my own place. But you know what I mean? Like that could go there, that could go there, the bed could go over there. And it's just like a vision that you see of possibilities. And so this could be something that you're working with at the moment, really checking in with which of these options calls to you and gives you this sense of excitement moving forwards. Knight of Vessels. Yeah, so there's an emotional shift as well that's going on. There's an emotional movement forwards, and I feel like that's connected to the excitement that I was just talking about. That kind of butterflies in the stomach, or there's like an anxiousness around it as well, and maybe there's a little bit of fear even. It could all be mixed up in one. And I just heard the message of like, um, don't turn down certain opportunities or offers purely because you're afraid that you won't be able to handle the thing, whatever it is. Maybe it could be a fear that you couldn't afford to live in a certain place, or, you know, like pay the rent somewhere, or you're afraid that you couldn't handle the workload if you go for the job that you really want. But essentially, like deep down, you actually know that you could handle these things. When you're in that King of Pentacles energy that I talked about before, you're grounded and you know that you can do it. You really do know that you can do it. It's just if you're having a wobble, you're having a weird day, or you're feeling tired or anxious or whatever, you could feel a bit like wibbly wobbly, like this eel, and then maybe you might doubt yourself. So it is really important to keep coming back to center and maintaining some kind of level of emotion where they're not overtaking you, they're not taking you over. If you start to feel anxious or afraid or something like that. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to pull one more card and then we'll close out the reading. I feel like whatever this is that you're moving towards, like you really have got this, like you can do it. It's just a case of reminding yourself of that. And I also felt as well then to say it's important to talk to people who would encourage you, not people that you go to who then like um, mirror your fears back to you. Like we all have some of those people in our lives, I bet, where you talk about something you're excited about, you might feel a bit anxious, and they might point out all of the ways that it could go wrong, and then it's like, oh, okay, that's not helpful because now I'm worrying about it again. So think wisely, choose wisely when it comes to speaking to certain people about what it is that you want to move into in the near future. Yeah, the World Tree. I heard you coming back to you and you coming back on yourself. So there's something about 0 point coming back to the start. Of course, this is the World Tree. This is the end of the Major Arcana. It's number 21 before we go back around to the Fool. There's something about you coming home here to this tree. You've got the door here. This would be someone's home. Something about having been around the labyrinth into the middle, released a lot, I would imagine, this year, because it's been a big year of release. Yeah, it's a 9 year. It's been a 9 year, so definitely a lot of release this year. Just looking at this side of the tree as well, with the autumn leaves and the bare branches there. So you've been to the middle of the labyrinth. I don't know if you've ever walked a labyrinth, but they're brilliant for releasing things and then setting new intentions and coming back out. I feel like you're coming back out of the labyrinth. And I just heard you're rejoining the world. So maybe there's been a kind of hermit period of time, a hermit phase where you've needed just more rest, more time to yourself, taking the time to get to know yourself better, maybe standing in the middle of the labyrinth for a while. And now there's this feeling of like coming back out and around the labyrinth and coming home um, to the world. So these opportunities could actually involve you coming out into the world more. Like I said, about maybe revealing what it is that you do, like gifts wise, or letting people know who you really are, walking out into the world as the real you, as your authentic, core self. And that's a beautiful thing. So, yeah. I just heard coming full circle as well, so there's definitely a big closing out that's been going on, and now there's space. There's space that's been made for you to create a different way for yourself, a way that's more in alignment with your core self. Yeah, you should all be very proud of yourselves for how far you've come, and celebrate. Celebrate yourself. Celebrate coming back to center. Celebrate coming back out into the world. You might find that you're more confident than you've ever been. You might fear that you're still not confident, but when you go into certain situations, it's almost like the new you takes over. I've had this happen myself where in the past I might have been anxious to go and view a place or to go and speak to a business about something or whatever. And when I go and do that these days, I go in and I talk and I'm quite open and friendly and gregarious and confident. Um, and after I think, oh, everything feels easier than it used to. I also have my off days as well, and I'm sure you do too. But for the majority of the time, for the majority of the time, I feel like this shifting, this huge shift that's taken place, is going to bring forward the real you to the world. And life, I do feel like life could be a lot more enjoyable from this moment onwards if you allow yourself to follow this flow. Take your time with these decisions, with these opportunities. I really do think this could be an amazing time moving into 2026. So, yes, I hope this was very helpful to you all. And hopefully, this mic has given some good sound for us for this reading. And yeah, if you'd like to book a private reading with me, the link is in the description down below. And yeah, there are other links there as well to other things like Instagram, etc. You can also make a donation if you feel to through Buy Me a Coffee or PayPal if you feel that my readings help. So I'm sending you all much love. Thank you for being here, and I'll speak to you all next time. Bye bye.